everyone. This week we're going to be talking a little bit more about cover letters and resumes, but also about interviewing. And I know interviewing tends to be one of the most nerve-wracking parts about the job search process. One piece of advice that I always give students is by letting them know that the more practice you have preparing for an interview, the more comfortable you're going to feel, the more confident that you'll feel. So what I'm going to have you all do as one of your assignments for this week is complete a practice interview in a resource that we have that's called Interview Stream. And I want to show you how Interview Stream works, but also tell you how cool it is, and hoping that you'll probably use it in the future too. So in order to access Interview Stream, if you just go right here to our University Advising and Career page, quickest way is just to type in Interview Stream right up here in the top right-hand box. You can also look underneath Career Guide in the Career Center Interviews, and you'll see it at the bottom. But just type it in here in the search box for now. And when you do so, it's going to pull it up right here for you. So when you click on this page right here, you want to click on the orange button that says watch this 2-minute video on how to get started. When you click on there, it's going to pull up this page for you. So there is a video right here on the bottom that you can watch, which can be helpful for students right here. But for the first time, you're going to sign up for Interview Stream right underneath here. So you need to sign up, and you need to do so using your UNH email account. We've paid for access for all of you to have this for free as a UNH student. So definitely use your UNH email account in order to get access to this. Once you log in, this is what it's going to look like. And I'll show you a couple of different things. So first off, I'm going to show you how you can access the interview that I've set up for all of you. So it's a practice interview. It probably, I think it has 5 to 6 questions on it. And I'm not even grading you on how well I think you did in your interview. It's more that you did the practice interview and that you showed that you put in some effort in it as well. It may be a little uncomfortable to then go back and watch yourself, but it's also really, like I said, really, really great practice. It helps you to see, how you're answering your questions, the time that you're spending on answering questions, but it also gives you the opportunity to go back and count your ums and your likes as well, and to see any awkward, maybe nonverbals that you're doing during your interview or things along those lines. So what you'll do is need to go under click on Conduct an Interview for the first time. When you click on this, the interview that you'll see that comes from me is going to be right here, created for me, take a pre-made interview. When you click on this part right here, it's going to have your assignments listed under here. So you'll be able to see the assignments. Once I post it for you, you'll actually see your assignments here in Interview Stream. Obviously, because I'm going under mine, I have no assignments for myself, but you will see your assignment listed right there. So what I want you to do is go through and answer these questions. When you go through it for the first time, there's a woman that kind of pops up on your screen and says, question number 1, tell me a little bit about yourself. And then you'll see a counter that says 3, 2, 1, and you're going to go ahead and start answering the question. You don't actually see that your picture's not going to pop up. You're not going to see yourself answering it. So you'll go through the whole interview just like you would any other interview, and at the very end you can go back and watch it. You can also choose to preview your questions after each question, and you can go back and re-answer those questions as many times as you want. So if the question is tell me a little bit about yourself and you feel like you messed it up the first time, redo it. You're more than welcome to redo it as many times as you want. Again, this is all for practice, so feel free to do that as many times as you want. At the very end of your interview, again, you can watch it back and you can count your likes and your ums and a little counter at the bottom. There's also an opportunity for you to email this on to somebody outside of me. So if you're interested in sending it to a family or a friend or somebody else to give feedback, you can do that as well. So it's really valuable in that way. But another way that you can use Interview Stream that I think is going to be helpful is clicking back on this Conduct an Interview. If you go to Custom Interview, you can create your own interview as well, and I'll show you why this may be helpful for you in the future. So Interview Stream has a library of over 7,000 potential interview questions. There are a lot of general interview questions that you're likely to be asked during an interview, but there are a lot that are job specific. And so when I'm working with students and a student says, I'm applying to med school and I have an interview coming up, how can we practice med school questions? Well, I don't know those offhand. But if we scroll down, we can see where it says, you can see all of these different options over here. Let me open this up a little bit bigger for you. We can scroll down and see under medicine, I can see, med school interview type questions. So lots of different options for all of you. So one place that you may want to start looking for kind of building a practice interview, again, this is on your own, this isn't an assignment, but I think it's great if you have an interview coming up to practice these things. So under general, there's tons of different kinds of questions. So the ones that I pulled from for your interview are under this one, or most of them are 15 most common questions. If you click on this, it'll take a minute and it opens up some potential questions. Now let's say that you want to build your own interview to practice. Then you can just click on this plus sign over here and add those questions right into your little potential interview you're going to be doing over here. If you need to delete them, you can just click the X right there. But as you can see, there's lots of different kinds of field questions. So I know a few of you are interested in education, so look at all of the different education options that you can choose from. So if you're thinking, what are some general education questions that I might be asked? Here's some examples. So you could add a couple of those to yours. I know there's also a few of you who are more interested in the business sort of area, thinking maybe something with marketing. I know a few of you are thinking event planning. So you may want to look at businesses up this way. So you may want to look at all of these different, marketing questions, general business type questions, and look under some of these as examples of different questions that you could ask. So definitely go through and look at this list to kind of see the types of questions that you might get asked in an interview. I had a student who wanted to do a practice interview, and hers was for a medical interview for med school. We went through and practiced the questions that were samples over here, and I had her email me when she got done with her actual interview to let me know how much, whether or not the doing interview stream was good practice. And she said that it helped her a lot, and she ended up actually getting a space at that med school. And a lot of it was, she said, because she was able to practice those questions and felt comfortable in her interview. So I hope that you find that part really helpful, and kind of just looking at, here's the communications, looking at some of these different questions that could potentially be asked to practice. So again, you can on your own build your own set of questions over here, and then you click on Start My Interview. They do have you test out the video quality, and they also have you test out the sound quality ahead of time to make sure it works. Again, you can go through and answer your questions, practice them as many times as you want before you complete your interview. If you have any questions as you're going through your interview that I've created for you in Interview Stream, please let me know. So I'd encourage you to check it out before it's due, just so that you can make sure that you can figure out how to do it before it's due. Have fun.